Just us executing what we're doing. You know, if we can execute at a high rate, we're going to have great practices, and that's been the deal. And deals when we're not communicating, we're not focused on things, you know, that's when explosive plays, mistakes tend to happen. So it's just our deal has been from the beginning technique and effort. And now that we got through our installation, guys aren't swimming as much. It's just execution should be crisp every time. We're using Reggie Stubblefield in there a little bit more. Wasn't that way the first 3 days, but he is played at a level where I think he's going to deserve a spot on the field somewhere. We've used Ross Elder in that spot a little bit. He's done that in the past. So we've had some options there, but you know, right now it's those 3 guys mostly. Right now I'd say Marvin Martin is a guy that's off the charts. He's doing a lot of stuff with the older guys right now. Just tremendous body control, good natural feel for the game. Just doesn't quite understand some of the technique things yet, but if we can keep pushing him, I think by October he could be a guy. Tremendous. You know, last year he was a good player that made splash plays in practice, but in the game situations, you were always a little nervous. Now he's the guy, you know, and I think he's stepped into more of a leadership role. You can just tell by the way he walks, talks, acts. He's going to be a good player here for a lot of years. He is. Yeah, you wouldn't know anything. He doesn't wear a brace. He's making cuts, running, changing direction. You wouldn't have noticed anything's different. I'm sorry. I think Deuce Green and Cody Fletcher have been outstanding. I think they're bringing a level of leadership that they've never brought before. They're hitting things quickly. They're seeing things quickly. They're communicating well. You know, along with that, Ryan Hennington's been outstanding. We've used a number of different guys in those spots also, and they're learning things as they go. But those 4 guys in particular, with Wayne Jones being the 4th one, are standing out to me. Yeah, the only thing that's different is Wyatt Hubert is out and Nate Matlack is in. You know, Nate Matlack has been sensational in there. I think, you know, with him, Bronson Massey, Khalid Duke, you know, et al., Kamari Gaines, you know, the same usual suspects from a year ago. It's going to be a pretty good rush that we can put out there. Even some of the bigger guys, you know, the Jalen Pickles, the Tyrone Tallinis, the Tim Horns, you know, Eli Huggins, those guys can get after the passer too. So I think we'll be able to generate as much, if not more, with 4. I'm sorry, one more time. Omar Daniels is another guy that's been up on the big field quite a bit. Just athletically, they're both sensational. Omar's ahead of Durrell a little bit right now just because he has a better understanding of the game, you know, playing at a high level of ball in Georgia in high school. So he's been up with the big guys, splitting time with the older guys and the younger guys, and he's blending in when he's up there. You know, he's still, again, some technique things, same thing as Marvin Martin, but those guys are going to be solid guys. But you got to keep developing those guys physically. You know, and our older guys will tell you that was their problem too. You know, the T. Densons, the Echo Boydos, those are the guys that played at 170 pounds, and that's where those guys are at right now, and that's just hard to do in the Big 12. But in future years here, they're going to be a great tandem. Echo Boydo has been phenomenal right now as a leader, just in terms of his knowledge of stuff. You know, a year ago at this time, you know, he was a scout receiver. You know, I mean, he wasn't doing any of this stuff, and so the leaps and bounds he's made in 12 months is incredible. Tim's been great. I mean, inside, I think we're going to be as salty as we've ever been here. I mean, you throw in D. Hentz, Jalen Pickle, Tim Horn, Eli Huggins. Those are 4 guys inside that can get after it pretty good, and don't care who's in there. They're all equally disruptive, equally powerful. Not going to move them. They're going to hold gaps. The thing that Tim has been so great on is being a vocal leader. We don't have a lot of vocal dudes here. You know, Jerron McPherson maybe is one, but outside of that, we haven't had that up front, and that's why I'm pleased to see Deuce Green taking that role and Tim Horn taking that role, even though Tim's a new guy. We'll see. You know, I don't know that. We'll see how that plays out, but I just know that I'm really comfortable heading into Stanford with him. that level of physicality, that level of length. We haven't had too many 6'3" corners running around here. That's noticeable when you're out there. It's noticeable when you blitz him. It's noticeable when he's playing man coverage and he can get his hands on people. He can run too, and we've got some other guys that can run, but he can, run and do all of those things. So he's a difference maker.
Who's an offensive player that continuously gives you side of the ball the most hits?
Well, the easy answer is Deuce Vaughn, right? The second easy answer is Skylar Thompson, But I think they're much more cohesive up front right now than they've been. They're deeper in their rotations than they've been at wide out, at tight end. It's cool to see how they're coming along too. It's getting there. We're still young, and we're going to be young this year. It's what it is. But I think we're going to have more guys that you're going to see on the field. I don't think it's going to be we talked about we're doing a lot of substitution drills and things like that, just game management type things. There's a lot of times last year we didn't have that luxury, where, hey, Jerron McPherson, your tongue's hanging on the ground. Too bad, man. That's all we got, whether it's COVID or talent or whatever. And so, yeah, we're going to be deeper at every position. And, injuries and things are going to happen throughout the year, but we're more ready to handle those things than we've ever been in the past.
How big was it for you?
I'm sorry.
How big was it for you to have your long comeback?
Oh, huge. I mean, he's just such a good leader. He does everything right, and his development from where he's been, when we first got here as his personality was and his kind of, ragged edge a little bit. He's always been a good kid, but he always was kind of, on the periphery. To be in center stage and to being a great leader and to being a guy that everybody looks to when it's crunch time, it's awesome. It's great to see him do that. He's been great. He's been really impressive. He's been rolling a little bit even with the ones at times. Just how much he's learned from June 5th or whenever he got here until now is awesome. That's hard for a new guy to step into some of those things. And he's you can tell he's played ball before. It's one thing to get a new guy in your program that's a freshman that has talent. It's another thing to get a guy that's played a lot of snaps of college football at whatever level. He's been in the heat, and so I trust him in there, and I'm excited. You're going to see a lot of him.